stay hidden, or we will not survive.
Hi, Hayden. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So first, I'll just promise not to say anything about sand as we get started. But
right.
I do want to ask you, I think a lot of those memes that have come out of the prequels kind of show how people have come around on those movies. And I wonder at what point for you realized that was happening and that this comeback really seemed to be possible.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I started going to these fan conventions a few years back and just sort of interacting with the fans and hearing their passion for those films, I guess sort of made me appreciate the love that people have for those movies now. I was never able to project myself to being here and thinking that I was going to come back, but when I got that call, I was so excited,
Well, and you get to come back not only as Vader, but as Anakin. And especially in episode 5, we get to see you. You're not in costume. You're not in makeup or anything like that. How important was it for you to be able to show face and just to, revisit that time you had with Ewan as well?
Yeah, I mean, when I read that scene, I was quite taken with it. And, it was like, it really was like time travel. Stepping back onto set with Ewan, in those costumes and getting to have that training session with him. Yeah, I mean, it was just so cool and what a neat thing that I got to, play the character again at that time in his life. So that was very cool.
That's something we might see you do again potentially in the future?
I don't know. We'll see.
The Jedi Code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
You also had to wear that makeup and jump in the tank for part of this. Which one of those was tougher for you?
The makeup process on this was pretty extensive. It was like 4 to 5 hours in the morning, getting all the prosthetics put on, and I really enjoyed it just because the sort of the visual creation that takes place when they're doing it was quite impressive. But taking the prosthetics off at the end of the day was borderline painful.
Well, you obviously did a lot of green screen in the original movies you were in, but now they're using that big wraparound screen.
Yeah.
How different was it to shoot under these circumstances for you?
Yeah, the stagecraft technology is a great advancement. Certainly from the perspective of an actor, getting to have your environment there and you can see it, you can react to it. It makes a big difference.
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
Okay. Well, you're a fellow Canadian. You're back in Canada now. And I'm conscious that we just had Father's Day. What did you get up to for Father's Day? What does Darth Vader do on Father's Day?
I had a great Father's Day. My daughter outdid herself. We went out and bought a bicycle and went for a bike ride together and got some pizza. And she got me she got me a few gifts, a few very beautiful handmade gifts. But she also got me a very cool Star Wars T-shirt. It said "Best Dad in the Galaxy" and a picture of Darth Vader, and it was very sweet.
What does it mean to you to have her see you go through this time and actually be there as it's happening?
Yeah, that's been a part of what's made this experience so special for me is just getting to share it with my daughter. I haven't shared the films with her yet, but she of course knows about Star Wars and knows the character that I play, and so I got to take her to set a couple of times and she thought it was pretty cool, and I did some lightsaber training with her, and yeah, it was very special for me.
Awesome. Well, I'll give you the final question here. Who do you think would win, your Darth Vader or Natalie Portman's Thor?
I've heard about this Thor version that she's playing. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, so hard to comment, but I don't know that too many people would stand well against Darth Vader.
Do you think we might see her back at some point in this series as well, or a future series?
I would hope so. The character that she plays in Star Wars is a very beloved one, and I would hope so, but we'll see.
All right, thank you so much, Hayden. I really appreciate your time, and can't wait to see the rest of the series.
Thanks, man. Nice talking with you.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
You can't escape him!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our Narcity channel to see more great content.